Hi everyone, my name is Maria and I am the Green Stitcher here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. And you did not mix up the season and I'm not talking to you from the future. I thought as part of the Christmas in July movement thing, I'll just film a little video about my Christmas ornaments that I've cross-stitched before. I want to welcome everyone who is new on the channel. Thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me. I am a cross stitcher from Belarus who lives in the UK, and I've been stitching for about 8.5 years now. And for everyone returning, thank you so much for coming back and watching this video. I hope you'll enjoy it. And like I said, I'm not doing any specific Christmas in July starts. I've already got quite a few Christmas designs on the go, so I'll just be going on stitching on those, but I thought I'd sort of join in a little bit in spirit and film you this video. So I'm going to show today, and I'm just going to do a little bit of me in the shot and then switch to an overhead camera, because all of the things I'll be showing you today, so Christmas ornaments that I've cross-stitched, are quite small. They're like sort of smaller than the size of my palm. It doesn't make too much sense for me to show them here and then maybe miss the focus or something. So I'll be doing an overhead filming for that. Before I do though, I just really quickly wanted to show you what I keep them in at the moment, at least. So I have got this lovely tin from Biscuits that I got from work with lovely nutcrackers and holly. I do love nutcrackers very much. One of my favorite stories growing up was the Nutcracker, and I had this little tape with like Nutcracker musical sort of being, or almost like an audiobook with the musical part of it in Russian, and obviously Tchaikovsky's music being on there, that I just had on repeats like most of the time around that time of the year. So I do love the Nutcrackers. Someone was just going to bin the tin and I said, can I just have it? And it's beautiful, and it has these elements that are all sort of 3D, and it doesn't have any branding on it, which is my favorite thing for storage and things. The only thing I might need to do is just cover the bottom with some scrapbook paper. The top has the drum sticks, as the whole tin sort of is shaped like a drum. Again, some more holly, some snowflakes, and it's this lovely red bright color, and I just love this. For now they fit, however probably soon enough, when I've had more time to stitch Christmas ornaments, they will not. This does not include my shepherd's this does not include my Brooks Books pieces that are Christmas themed. I think they're a bit too big to fit here. And it also includes my Mill Hill gnomes, and though they're not technically ornaments, they are Christmas themed, and I do display them around Christmas time, so I thought I'd show them here as well. And so I think this is it for the intro. I will switch to overhead camera and we will look at my cross-stitch Christmas ornaments now. Alright, you guys, let us have a look inside my Christmas ornament tin. Before I start showing you all the things that live in here, I will say I haven't stitched too many of them just yet. I have only been stitching Christmas ornaments for the last couple of years, and not so much in the last year, I would say. I didn't find them sort of useful. I wasn't sure that I was going to put any on the Christmas tree even about 5 years ago, and then I started watching more Flosstube, seeing other people stitching Christmas ornaments, finishing you know, designs into pin keeps and flat folds and all sorts of different FFO methods, and have fallen in love with Christmas ornaments and decided to start stitching them for myself. I do also have a collection of kits that I'm planning to turn into Christmas ornaments in the future, but those you will see as parts of my, you know, ongoing progress on my channel. So I would say there's about 2 years maybe worth of Christmas ornaments in here, but I do love them very, very much, and I'm very happy I stitched them as that. So The tin is quite tall, as you've seen, so there's quite a few things in here. I will also say that my favorite sort of medium or canvas to stitch Christmas ornaments on is perforated paper by Mail Hill. And I find that it's really nice and easy to work with. You get a really nice sturdy sort of surface, and then you can back it with felt and make it even sturdier, and then they make for great ornaments, and you don't have to sort of fuff about with fabric edges fraying and having to make it a certain shape and size and then stuffing in things. The most of mine are flat, except for I think a couple. But yeah, let's get going. I think I'm just going to pick one out from the tin, show you, and then we'll move on to the next. And where I can, I will tell you about the designer and stuff. So this is, I think, my only one so far. Snowflake ornament by Mill Hill. As far as I know, they have at least 2 different series of snowflakes. So there is one with 3 golden and 3 silver ones, and that's where this one's from. And there's also a series with blue and turquoise and purplish, and I think I have one of those in my stash. I haven't stitched it yet. So this one was my first ever Mill Hill snowflake. I think I bought the kit in Create Nostalgia in Wales on my first visit there a couple of years ago, because my husband really liked this design and wanted me to stitch it for his work Christmas tree they were decorating and had to make handmade ornaments for. So I really love it. I used everything from the kit, and this is 14 count golden perforated paper, bugle beads, other beads are mostly large size, I think it's 11, with some metallic sort of, there you go, metallic coating. Some of them are shiny inside, some are clear, so these are absolutely beautiful. And so I finished it as I do most of them. The only thing I want to change is the, what would you call this? The little ribbon thing to hang it on, as this one is not holding on, so the golden bit I see is flaking off, and I'm using a different cord now for this bit. So this one is backed with white felt. And the way I stitched these is I finish everything that's needed finishing on the paper. Then I cut them out around the shape of the design. Then I glue them to a bigger piece of felt that covers sort of the general area of the whole design. And then I cut the felt around to match the paper as well. I do use Tim Holtz crafting scissors to do the felt cutting at the end because it gives me a really nice sort of crisp edge. So that's the first one. Most of these, if I'm being honest, are going to be Mill Hills. As you might guess, they make lovely, lovely Christmas ornaments. I have also got a pair of absolutely adorable mittens, and this is again a Mill Hill kit. I think it's one of the older ones. I might have picked it up on eBay, and I absolutely love them. I don't remember if there was supposed to be 2 of them in the design or if I've decided to make it a pair. But yeah, they're all stitched with the kit materials, which is again 14 count perforated paper. In this case, it's the antique brown one, and I used all of the DMC floss and beads from the kit. I think the only thing I changed is I used my own cord, but when I was a kid, for us kids not to lose our mittens, our mums would sew either these sort of cords or elastic ribbons onto the mittens, and then they would pull this bit through the sleeves so that you basically, if you needed to take them off, you could just, you know, take them off your hand and they would still be hanging on from the elastics and you wouldn't be able to lose them. So it felt like I had to pay homage to that and make, you know, one long sort of piece of string to have them on my Christmas tree. Absolutely love these. These are absolutely my favorite classic sort of Christmas colors. The sort of dark green and vibrant red and a bit of white or pearl white. So love these. Next, we have got a series of musical instruments by Mill Hill. Again, that is something that both me and my husband and sort of our whole family are very much in love with, and music plays a big part in our lives, and playing musical instruments does. So when I found that Mill Hill has this fantastic series with musical instruments, I decided that I absolutely had to stitch them and make ornaments out of them. So again, this one is mandolin, I believe. Maybe it's a lute. One of those. It's got everything as the kit called for. Again, same brown perforated paper, and that's when I started using my favorite cord for my Christmas ornaments. It's just a really nice gold color, and it just consists of sort of this thicker metallic floss that really holds together nicely. And I think it's not very yellow red, not a very yellow gold. It's a gentler sort of shiny gold, and I think it matches a lot of the designs. So these are absolutely lovely. They all have sort of tiny sew-on treasures, and in this case they have little jingle bells. This series I backed with this lovely dark red felt. I think this was a blend acrylic and wool, and absolutely love them. I think you can see the mittens have dark red felt in them as well. The next design is my second Mill Hill Snowflake, and it's from the same series as the one you've just seen before. And as you can see, they do have different color cords, and I am hoping to, like I said, to pick this one out somehow and replace it with this golden one. This one is slightly smaller and is not using any of the cream beads, only petite. So you kind of feel as if it's got more gold because all of the buckle beads are gold. The golden perforated paper just makes it look so festive and shiny and catches all the lights from your Christmas tree. Again, white felt on this one. I believe I have the whole series to stitch, if not stitched already. The next one is... This is one of my favorites from the musical instrument ornament collection, and this is the drum. I absolutely enjoyed stitching on this. I love the combination of the colors, but I also really loved stitching the drumsticks on a separate piece of paper, cutting them out, and then sewing or gluing in this case them back on top. Has these little tassels made out of the same red beads that are used in the design. And the whole series has golden metallic thread. I think it's a DMC floss that's used either for strings or for other decorative elements, and I remember not liking working with it whatsoever. This is one of my favorites. Again, dark red felt. And this one has a star as a sew-in charm. Same golden cord. Absolutely love it. Like I said, one of my most favorite musical instruments. The next one is a violin. This one has so many gorgeous greens. And again, I love how they use the golden metallic to imitate strings. This one has a sew-on heart charm. Lovely, lovely matte beads. Again, dark red felt. This one's a bit fuzzy, and the same golden cord as in the other ones. Then I've got the harp. This one of the most fun to stitch out of the whole series. This has a fantastic heart-shaped charm that also looks like a seashell to me. Lovely greens, and then the strings I made as a piece of long stitch, so they don't, like you can see that they are made in one continuous string to keep sort of the harp strings together. And then I've done it in a way where it's only on the front side and you can't see anything on the back, obviously. And then the hardest part in this one, as you can imagine, was cutting out the paper and the felt, being so careful not to cut the strings. Absolutely love this one. It looks so beautiful. The next one is another Mill Hill kit. Like I said, most of these are, and this is a sheep. I think it originally was meant as a spring design, and I think it's sold as part of the spring collection, but for me, for some reason, a sheep, especially with the reds and greens in her collar and this little lovely bell, feel more like Christmas rather than spring. It uses a combination of Smyrna stitches and this lovely bead pattern on her back to sort of imitate wool, and the tail and all of the elements in black are stitched in beads as well, so it has a lot of dimension and a lot of interesting elements. This was a lot of fun to stitch, I remember. As you might know already, I do love me some specialty stitches. Love her so much. This one has this lovely cream or vanilla felt to sort of match the shading on the beads. The next one, let me just put these aside for a second because I want to show you all of those as one piece. Next one is a French horn, same series from the Mill Hill Musical Instruments collection, and this one is again absolutely lovely, using a lot of greens that I love, like I said, using a lot of gold. It has this lovely bow made out of beads and a sewn element with a Christmas tree. Same cord like everywhere, like I said, and dark red felt. This one, as you can see, was a bit harder to cut out, so I didn't do the best job, but it will do. And then the last musical instrument. Again, so many lovely green colors, but my favorite in this design is the red matte beads to imitate berries. I think they look absolutely fantastic. And I love doing these little flowers that are made out of 5 beads. Same dark red felt. You are getting the gist of it. Golden cord. I think that might be all of the musical instruments. And then I also have, do I only have one? I think I have more of these. As you might know, Mill Hill also has kits that only contain beads and no floss, and this is one of those. It's one of the Christmas angels, and my kit was vintage. I again picked up from eBay, kitted in the 90s, and what I found with older kits with Mill Hill, the beads weren't as calibrated and neat as they are today. So you might see in the angel's dress and in the wings, where you have sort of continuous rows of the same color, you'll see that it's a bit messy because of how beads are refusing to lay flat next to each other. But it's a lovely angel nevertheless, and you know what, from about a meter distance already you can't even see any of those imperfections. And then again, the same dark red felt as on the other ones, and the same gold cord. Love these. I'm sure they have more. I'm sort of trying to keep my Christmas designs on the tree in red and green and gold, with a bit of cream maybe. I'm not a big fan of like a silver and blue Christmas designs, but I do have a few in my collection. Right. Before we go on to, let's look at these two as well. I think I've shown them to you in one of my videos because I stitched them recently in spring. Again, these are one of the Mill Hill kits that completely consists of beads, and it's a Christmas tree and Father Christmas. Again, these were vintage kits, but this time I think the beads look quite neat and lay quite flat. loved making these. I remember I was playing a video game that had a lot of dialogues, and I didn't need my immediate involvement besides just clicking, next or choosing one of the dialogue options. So I was stitching these while playing the video games as well. These ones have green felt and the same golden cord. I'll start putting them flat on the table here. I can see another mill here. Let me show you this one. Absolutely love, love, love this pine cone. Again, it's my favorite combination of colors with the reds and the greens. And this one has lovely bicones in this great dark red color that just absolutely shine and reflect the light on the Christmas tree. And I love the combination of shiny and matte beads as well. This one used more of a sort of coffee mocha perforated paper and has the same backing as the musical instruments, this dark red felt. After stitching quite a few of these mill hills, I've decided I really enjoyed stitching Christmas ornaments specifically on paper, and so I've decided to stitch one of the Dimensions Christmas ornament kits that I had on perforated paper as well, and so I did. The only thing that I've changed about these is I stitched them 3/1 instead of 2, as that is my preferred method on perforated paper. This is a gingerbread cookie. I love the French knots here, and they pop and look honestly like real sprinkles. These I have backed with different color felt depending on the color of the design. So this one has this cream color, and then the dark green bell has dark green felt, and the red bell has red felt. The gingerbread Christmas tree, again with some lovely sprinkles. They look like the beans from Harry Potter to me for some reason. The lovely Christmas tree has cream felt again. The bell, as you might guess, has red or dark red. The green Christmas tree, this one was the easiest and quickest to stitch because it only has a couple of colors in here. I have swapped the 2-stranded back stitch for 1 strand of size 12 pearl by DMC. And this one has the green, as you might imagine. And then the rest of the ornaments spell out the word joy. These were the biggest ones of the kit, and they were so much fun to stitch and look absolutely fantastic. Let me show them to you one by one. So J has the background with musical notes. And again, that's just something that makes absolute sense for us in our home with music. I love this dark green. It's one of my favorite colors, and the way they've done these bells, they honestly look as if they're real and 3D and not sort of cross-stitched flat on a design. So this one has dark green felt. And then the O has a lovely leafy pattern in the background with these minty greens, and again a button that's designed to look very, very 3D as if it's sewn on top. And I love these. Dark red felt, as you might have guessed. And then the Y has a pattern of a post stamp or postcard. It has some letters in the background, has a stamp. I love the shading on this one especially. I feel like they really did a great job sort of making a, making this vintage looking tag. And it has a button on again. Cross-stitched one, not a real one, but looking very, very good. Dark green felt, as you might have imagined. And I think that was it. There was 9 pieces in there, and I think they were literally called #Christmas ornaments. If you want to know any of the specific names of the designs or the articles of the kits, feel free to message me and I will have a look for you. And then some of my Christmas ornaments are stitched on perforated wooden canvas. And this particular one is designed by a Russian brand that doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately, and they were called Divная Vishnya, and they made these perforated wooden canvas kits with various designs, including some Christmas ones, and this one looks a lot like a glass Christmas ornament I used to have as a kid on my Christmas tree at my parents' house. So I absolutely had to stitch it. I love how they've combined again the floss and beads. And this one came with felt cut out to the shape of it in the kit. And as you can see, the wooden canvas is cut out in the shape of the design as well. So this is lovely. It's a shame I can't get those at the moment. And then I also, this is not a cross stitch ornament, but it is an ornament, and I have a broom from the Harry Potter universe in here that I found somewhere and I really loved. So again, it hangs on the tree. And then let me see what else I have. I think I keep other ornaments here besides my cross stitch ones. So I have a Christmas gherkin that I found at a store somewhere in the UK, and it's actually made of glass, which is a lot of fun. I have a bee. This is not cross stitch, but it is embroidery of some sort. I have seen people do this sort of embroidery online, but I'm not quite sure what it's called exactly. I just absolutely fell in love with it. It's so gorgeous. I think again, I found it in I found it in a store in the UK where they were selling handmade ornaments, and it has beads and it has these lovely golden and silver cords. So she hangs on our tree as well, no matter it's not the proper season. And then Male Hill, besides making cross stitch ornaments with beads and floss and making cross stitch ornaments with just beads, have these absolutely fantastic 3D ones. You might have seen the tassels, and this is another series. They have, I think these are called diamonds because of the shape, and they have quite a few. This one is, as far as I remember, is called Willow Diamond, and I just absolutely loved the combination of the colors. It's this sort of grassy green with very muted sort of champagne pink shade. And I think it looks so gorgeous. So you stitch the main motif 3 times on 3 separate pieces of perforated paper. Again, everything comes in the kit. And then you attach them together, following the instructions. You make the tassel using the beads from the kit. And you also make the top loop using a larger bead, as you can see inside there, and then smaller beads at the top to cover it. I'm trying to see if my camera will focus to show you. There we go. Absolutely loved making this. It was a lot of fun. It was one of the vintage kits from eBay, so I don't think I have any more in my stash, but I'm definitely thinking of having a look and getting some more. They look really good on the tree, and like I said again, are a lot of fun to stitch. So that's sort of the shape that you're getting when it's done. And then I think I have a couple more before I get to my gnomes. So again, this is one of the vintage Mill Hill ornaments. This one had a button included in the kit as well, which was a lot of fun to sew on, and it only uses a couple colors of green and red, but it was so nice to stitch this one. As you can see, it's an older one that I haven't, that I had stitched before I started using the golden cord. This design doesn't even have any gold, so I thought, you know what, it makes more sense to keep this sort of jute cord here instead. And it has a green felt and unfortunately a bit of glue on the back. And then I have 2 Luca S Christmas ornaments. I saw them online and absolutely fell in love and had to make them into Christmas ornaments of my own. I absolutely love robins, and so I had to sew and stitch this lovely little bird. Lucas has quite a few of these, and a lot of them use metallic threads. This one didn't, but the other one did. I'll show you in a second. And I used dark green ivy, dark green holly patterned fabric to cover the back. And I used this greenish sort of cord to do the edge of it and the loop to hang it on the tree. And my absolute favorite of these two is this lovely, lovely winter Christmas tree. It has a few colors of metallic floss. As far as I know, they're all Lucas floss, not any sort of Cryonics or DMCs. And they are this beautiful blue color, but this, it looks like petrol. You know how it goes from sort of darker grayish purple to green. Absolutely love this. And it's such a funny, wonky tree. It's not symmetric whatsoever, and my shape is not symmetric either, but I absolutely love it. Same fabric on the back and the same dark green cord. And then I wanted to show you my series of Mill Hill gnomes. I have been stitching the red and green collection for I think a year now. I bought them in Wales last year when I went to the Nimble Thimble, and I have finished 3 completely and I've FFO'd. The 4th one I'll show you as well. I think I showed it a couple months ago. I finished but haven't FFO'd it. And then the 5th one is the one I have to stitch still, and they don't have a 6th one. For some reason this series consists only of 5. So let me show you one and show you what I did with them. So one of the gnomes that I've stitched is this lovely one with Christmas gifts, and like I said, they're all red and green gnomes with their lovely mittens with matte beads again. Can't see their eyes, you can only see their noses, beards and mustaches, but they look so lovely and so festive. So what I do to FFO these is, as you can see again, I stitch them all on the perforated paper. I cut out following the shape, except I leave a bit of space at the bottom, and you'll see in a second. I back them with felt, again, everything including the bit at the bottom. And then, like I said, they're not technically Christmas ornaments, but they are part of my Christmas decorations that are not sort of, framed or stitched on fabric or something a bit bigger. So I do include them in this collection, and they live with my Christmas ornaments in the same tin. So to display them, I have bought a few of these wooden pieces that are meant for invitation cards, for sort of dinner cards for names, or sort of a rustic wedding for names. So you are meant to put the card with the name, or whatever you want, into the slit of the wood, and I've used them to FFO my gnomes instead. Then I just slide them into the slit in the wood, and that's why I use felt as well, just so they stand in there a bit tighter and it keeps the shape. I do recommend using quite thin felt for this, but if you are making these yourself, which is quite easy to do at home as well, you can make this slit any sort of size that you need it to be, and I think it's a great way to display sort of slightly bigger designs that might not be the size that fits your Christmas tree. Ours is quite small, so I felt that this would be a better way to FFO these designs. And so you have a lovely gnome sitting on on this little wooden piece and decorating our home, and I absolutely love this. And like I said, you can make these yourself or buy them online. You can stain them as well. I've just left them as they are, and I absolutely love them. So that's sort of the principle that I'm using to FFO these, and they'll just all stand around together in one spot, probably. Maybe I'll spread them across the shelves in the living room. So I love them so much. The designs, let me just take it out to show it to you closer. The designs are absolutely fantastic. They use a lot of different colors of beads and floss. And what I've done when I got the whole series of them is I have put together one floss organizer and then just started, adding the floss when I open a new kit. And then it's easier to go on stitching the next ones when you already have some floss left over on the needle from the previous one. So that's one of the gnomes. Then I also had this gnome holding holly. Again, a lot of lovely reds and greens, and this one has a cream cap. And if I haven't said this before, sorry, they're all based on designs by Jim Shore, who make lovely Christmas ornaments. This one only has a little bit of purple in the cap. They really look so 3D, and the 2-strand backstitch in this case absolutely does them justice and was a lot of fun to stitch. And then the third one that's fully finished, like I said, is gnome holding a wreath. A lot of green again. Look at the beads in the cap. And a lot of reds. And the wreath looks so lovely with these little baubles on it. And then the fourth one that I have finished but haven't FFO'd is gnome holding a garland with ornaments. Again, fantastic job doing the caps. They all have beads. Some of them have matte or sort of clear colored ones that are hard to see on camera, but you can see them in real life. But they all have lovely greens and reds. Like I said, it's my favorite color combination for Christmas. And I only have the last fifth one to stitch. That is all of my Christmas ornaments. However, I also want to show you another Christmas piece that I have shown you before but didn't show it to you sort of close up as I can do it now with the top-down camera. So I have said I absolutely adore designs by Brooks Books, and especially her Christmas designs, and this is the Angel of Christmas Spirit that I stitched a few years ago. It was my first ever Brooks Books that I absolutely fell in love with, and since had bought more designs, stitched a few of them, and I'm planning to stitch even more. It's a lovely angel with wings covered in red colored patterns. She has earrings, she has a necklace, she has a lovely collar and golden beads imitating buttons on her dress. She has stitching scissors. She has some floss in her basket, a sock, and hoops with a Christmas tree that she's using to cross stitch. And then the bottom of her dress is just my absolute favorite. It looks like quilting blocks and uses one of the most beautiful colors of Kreinik, which is this green and gold combined. She also had two little companion designs meant to be FFO'd together with her, and I only stitched one of them because the other one had this sort of creepy looking gnome, which I didn't quite like, but I did stitch this little tiny sampler. It has a cardinal, a snowflake, and some fantastic beading besides the flosses. So I have shown her in my top 10 favorite finishes of all time, but I also, like I said, wanted to show you a close-up. The way I FFO her is I found this stand you can get online. I can't unfortunately seem to find the link to it, but it's you sort of put it together. And then I stained it as well to match the color of the wooden boxes I have in the hobby room, and that's where she lives. That's why that's the color. And then the stand, I added a magnet onto the stand, and I added a magnet onto her back, so she just gets together just like that. And then I have the little sampler put right next to her, and then she goes on display and decorates our house for the holidays. I could have definitely done her as a little wooden stand finish as well, but I feel like because she's quite tall, she's about, I want to say about 15 centimeters. I feel like she might be tilting if she didn't have sort of enough support height wise. So the length of this stick goes, as you can see, all the way to her wings. You can alternatively use the same wooden structure, wooden piece, and then, wooden sticks made for ice cream. I think you can definitely FFO it like that. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it useful and entertaining. These are my cross-stitched Christmas ornaments that I have at the moment, and we are in July 2024. And yeah, like I said, I do love perforated paper. A lot of them are in perforated paper, and even the ones that I have in my stash that I haven't stitched yet, that are meant to be stitched on plastic, I will switch to perforated paper, as I do not stitch on plastic. I like the feel of the fabric of the paper, and I like that the holes are quite big and it's nice to stitch, and I do like to use 3 strands of cotton on perforated paper, so I do quite enjoy making these. It's something small that I can do in between other projects, when I don't have enough time to sort of pick up something a bit bigger, or when I don't have the physical sort of space to set up my cross stitching stand. I can just grab one of these little ones and knock them out in a few days. And I do love me some Mill Hill, like you've seen. They are just beautiful. The combination of threads and beads is just fantastic. And so, yeah, here we are. Not the biggest collection, obviously, but yeah. A funny fact is, none of these ornaments have been or have made it to the Christmas tree yet. So I stitched them throughout the last couple of years, and in the winter of 2023, we have had our cats for only 2 months, and I thought it would probably be unsafe for my lovely cross-stitch ornaments to be up on the tree where the cats can grab them. They were very curious about the ornaments this year, and so they would knock them off and chew on them a little bit and like play around with them. So I'm hoping we'll do better in 2024. I'm hoping they will make it to the tree, but it might not be until later, or I might have to come up with some other system for my ornaments to stay safe on the tree while cats are still present. So here we are. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. If you have any questions about any of the designs or anything else, please feel free to comment under this video. And I hope you have a wonderful stitchy time. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye!